Hello Aries, welcome to your July reading. I'm going to be doing a horseshoe spread for your 3 to 4 month outcome and then a 12-month outcome. I'm going to be doing a reading for a one-on-one relationship. It could be any relationship, but I'll read it as a romantic one. You could reinterpret it as you need. I'll pull some cards if you're out of contact with a person. If you want some messages from them, I'll get some oracle cards from Spirit to get a bird's eye view of this situation. And finally, I will get some angel advice cards for you. I already shuffled these off camera, but I'm doing it once or twice on camera just for your viewing pleasure. So let's get started with your horseshoe spread. Let's look at this too. And just for your notation, I'm pulling these cards, the angel advice cards, as a temperature check right now, so don't take them as advice. They're more saying what's going on at this point. So this is your horseshoe spread. We got your past, present, 3 to 4 month future. We got you in a nutshell. We got your environment. We got your hopes and or your fears. And we got your 12th month outcome. Let's see. Interesting. So, in your past here, Aries, we got the moon in reverse. We got Hercules, the protector, right way up, and we got engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, and it's a picture of 2 people holding hands, looking kind of fondly at the wedding ring, I guess. So, I mean, with the moon in reverse, it's giving me the sense that there might have been some sort of secret, but that might have been revealed. The moon can also sometimes be about your shadow self, accepting the darker sides of yourself. And, you know, since it's in reverse, it could be that you came to realize that or accept that part of yourself, work with it, because it's still part of you, even if it's considered a shadow side of you. So either you had some sort of secret revealed around you, or you accepted a part of yourself that you didn't want to recognize until then, and that might have affected your love life. And that's paired here with Hercules, the protector. Within this card, he looks kind of like he's, it sounds kind of mean, it kind of looks like he's pussyfooting around, like he's like treading carefully, and there's kind of like these kind of wolf looking or bored looking things in here that he's kind of scared of, and he's not trying to rile up. So it could be that within your love life you are trying to tread lightly and not wake up any beast around you. So it could be that maybe if there was a secret that was revealed, you know, you're just trying to you just try not to stir anything up and try to keep moving slowly and cautiously through your ventures, and this is in your past position. Despite that, I mean, it looks like even if there was a secret, maybe you might have gotten to some sort of commitment with your partner, whether that's being like Facebook official, or it could be actually getting engaged, but there's some sort of increased commitment in your future, in your past position, that is coming up. So despite the secret, or despite the the darker side of yourself that you might have come to terms with. It looks like, you know, things, generally people, if they want a romantic relationship, are looking for a relationship. So if they're going towards a commitment, that's probably what you wanted. So that's your past position. So in your recent going on, let's see. We got the Two of Swords upright. We got Aphrodite attraction upright. And we got romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. And it's a picture of like two people kissing with the man behind the woman. So it's kind of like a backwards kiss, I guess. Okay. So it could be that you're trying to make a decision in your love life. That's what these twos typically are. Trying to make a decision. You might have all the data that you need, and you're just trying to come to the decision that you need to do. Like, you need to find that mental place that you know, what are you going to do and where are you going to go? What's the next step? You still do have some aspect of the moon in this picture. So, I mean, there could be part of that shadow self that's still playing on, or that truth reveal that's still its factor in your decision-making process. Paired in your present position, though, you do have attraction, Aphrodite. So, I mean, you probably, at least, you're looking good, people are attracted to you, people are finding you sexy. You might, you might have some sort of feeling of everyone's looking at you, or maybe like there's nothing left to hide. Everything's on public view, because this girl is here naked and, kind of covering herself. So it's like, you don't have any covers left to hide behind. So, they see the real you in that aspect too. And also paired in your present position, we got romantic feelings. So, I mean, you might be having, emotions that are, going on right now. You might not be actually acting on them at this time, because it's saying your feelings are worth exploring. That means that, you're not exploring them, but they're worth being explored. So it hasn't happened yet. You're just having the feelings. And since that's also paired with this Two of Swords, which is kind of a thinking card, not taking action, sorry, my cat's jumping on the printer. So, I mean, it doesn't look like you got too much action going on. It's just you feeling, thinking, trying to figure out your next step right now. So this is your 3 to 4 month kind of future, should you choose to stick with the path you're on. We got the 5 of Wands, we got psyche, doubtfulness, and we got playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And it's a picture of like a man and a woman on a swing, kind of looking at each other in a flirtatious manner. Yeah, and her clothes are kind of revealing. You can kind of see some of her nipples in there too. Alright. So, I mean, this is your 3 to 4 month future, and now that you're looking at it, you can choose to change your direction if you want to go in a different direction. If you keep doing what you're doing, this is just like a cause effect, what's going to happen. It does look like there is fighting within your future, within your romantic sphere. It could mean that there is competition, because you have that pairing here with the psyche doubtfulness. There might be someone else that might be trying to win your heart, or there could be someone trying to win your person's heart, because Psyche here is a complicated card, but I mean, Psyche and Eros are in love, but she doesn't believe that someone could love her so much, and she ends up cheating on him, which devastates Eros, but he eventually takes her back because he loves her so much. that he'll accept her no matter what. But since that's part of the backstory of this card, there could be some sort of interference, or even just, since it's doubtfulness, they could be thinking of interference that comes into play within your future. So if that's the case, if you do have a partner, make sure you have clear boundaries on what is and isn't cheating, what is and isn't allowed. You know, I mean, I know it'll sound weird, but some people might say, some people think that if it's, you know, only hand action, it might not be cheating. So you might want to make it clear to your partner that is cheating. Some people might think emotional cheating isn't cheating. So you just gotta be kind of mindful of, you know, getting on the same page with the same definition is, so that could kind of clear up some of your worry, you know. And if you give them a clear boundary and they still do it, then I mean, they just have no respect for your boundaries. You have a different idea of boundaries, and you're probably just not compatible at that point. So I mean, it does look like, in spite of that, there will be some. You probably will be kind of flirting and playing around with your partner. Nothing too serious at the time. Just biding your time, having fun, enjoying your life also. So I mean, that's nice. Okay. So this is how you're feeling right now, Aries. We got the King of Swords, and we got Prometheus, cunning, upside down. So in an astrology reading, in astrology layouts, this would be the card of Libra, which is an energy of being fair, balanced, level-headed, good judgment. So I mean, that's a pretty mature place to be mentally for you right now. And you know, between some other decks, sometimes the kings and the queens will be to the side, so this face printing, you know, kind of shows that he's not hiding anything. But you got Prometheus here, cunning, upside down. So it could be that maybe some of your sneaky days are over with, whatever that means to you, because the story of Prometheus is, you know, humans tend to like him because he's the person who gave humans fire, but he is also the person who stole fire from Zeus by befriending him and getting buddy-buddy and then stealing fire behind his back. So it had some forethought and, you know, and an intent for theft in that story. But I mean, the card's upside down, so it's more like that's in your past now, and now you're kind of a level-headed, mature person when it comes to love and romance. So here's your environment. It's not necessarily something that you control. It's the weather outside. For instance, if it's raining outside, you could decide if you're going to put on a raincoat and go out anyways, or if you're going to stay in. But the fact of the matter is, it's raining. You can't change that part. So it looks like the environment around you, Aries, we got the Seven of Swords, and we got Hera relating upside down. The romantic atmosphere around you isn't very good right now. So if you're looking to start dating, you're going to be fighting against the tide. It looks like people might be kind of sneaking around, kind of being deceptive, not telling the whole truth. And it looks like the people in your dating circles are not relating to you. They're not on the same page. They have different definitions of what things mean to you. So it's not a very conducive environment for dating right now, unfortunately. But it is what it is. You could still try to do it. And now that you're, you know, prepared with this information, you could, you know, make your own choices. So this is your hopes and or your fears here. We got the Six of Swords upside down, and we got the Horai time. So I mean, these are both coming across as severe. So you're worried that you might not find someone in time. You're worried that something won't be locked down in time. You're worried maybe about timing of something not happening soon enough. It's never happens, thus far. So, will it ever happen? You could also be scared to be going back to something. You could be scared about going back to an old pattern. You might be scared of going back to an ex. So there is some sort of, you're not wanting to go back here. If you do want to interpret this as a hope, is you could be hoping for someone to come back to you, but I guess you'll know whether you're hoping for someone to come back or if you're fearing them to come back. It could be both, because sometimes love is confusing. Sometimes you want both because something is what you kind of desire, but it's not good for you too, so that could be a factor. Alrighty. So for you Aries, in your 12-month outcome, we have the Star in reverse, and we got the Hydra challenges in reverse. Well, I can tell you with first-hand experience, when Hydra has showed up in my layout, it's a pretty devastating card. Fortunately for you, it is upside down, so it could be your 12-month outcome is that the challenges are finally over, and what a relief that could be. Because that's pretty tough when you do have that playing around in your spread. You have the Star card upside down, so it's like it's a time for healing, but you might be resisting healing. You're not quite ready. You might still be in the shock or PTSD of a situation, so you could just let yourself heal at that time. You don't, the only one holding yourself back from it at that point will be you. Okay, so give me 1 minute. I'll shuffle the cards and prepare for your one-on-one spread for a relationship. Alright, Aries, so here I already shuffled these off camera, but I'll do it once on camera just for your viewing pleasure. And we're going to get started with your one-on-one spread for any relationship you want, but I'm going to interpret it as romantic. You just want to change some of the interpretations towards any other relationship if you want to do like your cousin, friend, boss, whoever you want. I'll do this one too. Okay. So we got you on the left side, the person on the right side typically. If you want to switch the two sides, you can. Okay. And then we got your past, your present, and your future shared energy in this relationship. And then, let's see, we got this, and this. Alrighty, here we go. So you on the left side, we got the Eight of Wands upside down, and we got Alchemy, Unfairness. A very tough card to be experiencing. I could speak from my first-hand experience, to that. So it could be... Well, okay, my initial thing I was going to say is could be you are bringing unfairness to the situation, but I mean, I guess it could be the other way around if you feel like you're treated unfair. Within the history of this card, Alchemy, the woman she's raped by a god, and then the husband finds out and assumes that she was consensually cheating and kicks her out into the streets, and she's treated very unfairly and suffering. Later on he finds out that it was actually rape and she didn't have a choice in the matter, and he takes her back, but because of his rash decision and not hearing her out, she was suffering for a long time, and it didn't need to happen. She's the victim's getting punished even more. So whether you are inflicting that on someone else or that's being inflicted on you, it seems like that's the energy that's being brought into this relationship. and that is being paired also with this no communication, no action, things not happening the way you want. If this Eight of Wands was right side up, it would be seen as the sticks are about to be hitting in the most optimal place. But since it's upside down, it's like things just are not working out. You keep taking shots and they're not hitting their target. They're not even moving. So we got that, and typically people will generically just say that's a no communications situation too. So whether you are blocking them or someone's not talking to you, I'm kind of thinking you're not talking to them because this is on your side. This is the energy that you're bringing to the relationship. You might have blocked someone. Perhaps if they did treat you unfairly, it made sense to not talk to them because, I mean, they got to apologize before you say something, or maybe it's not worth your time. Maybe you need to cool down. But, I mean, that's what's on your side is unfairness and no talking, shots missing their mark. So your person on the other side, we got the Knight of Swords and we got Persephone transformation upside down. So among the court cards, we got the Page, the Knight, and the King or the Queen. The Page is more like a child, the Knight is more like a teenager, metaphorically, and the King and Queens are like adult material, marriage material, level-headed, mature. So your person, their energy they're bringing to the table is more of like a teenager. They're not completely foolish like a child, but they're still making some mistakes. He's the Knight of Swords, so he or she could be like quick-witted, sharp with their tongue. Maybe they say things before fully thinking them out. Sometimes they can be kind of impressive, kind of snappy. They might say and think, things that seem to make sense, or at least at surface level seem impressive. So that's the energy they bring into the table. It could be that they are resistant to change or refusing change, or it could be that they're forcing unwanted change. Because the story of Persephone is, Zeus forces her to go to the underworld to be the wife, the queen of the underworld. She didn't want to go. She was taken against her will. So I mean, and then as a result, her mother, takes away spring, and we get the cold, bitter winters when Persephone is in hell, and we get spring again when Persephone is allowed her temporary past to come up to the earth world. So this person, I mean, they could be resisting change, or they could be forcing change upon you, or upon this relationship that's not wanted or welcomed. So, I mean, yeah, it's probably not, a glamorous reading that most people want to hear, but I'm just trying to tell you what the cards say, so you could get a fair assessment of the situation. And it is what it is. So in your past situation, we got the Eight of Pentacles, we got Typhus Fear upside down, and we got soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So in the past, within this relationship, it looks like you guys were working on it. There was some focus and attention put onto it. They were focusing on you, focused on this relationship. They had all these different choices, but they were hands-on working on this thing with you. You could have been recovering from some sort of gossip. You could have been recovering some sort of like words, something that spread, rumors. There could be maybe fears that you overcame in the relationship. Perhaps one of you guys kind of might have thought maybe one of them was a cheater, and maybe you just always all your past people were cheaters. So that might have been like a thing you had to work on, and you finally let go in the relationship. It looks like you were pretty happy, and you felt like this person with the soulmate card was satisfying you. You thought they were the one, at least for that moment of time, which if you pair that with the first spread, when you had the ascending to new levels and engagement, of course you would, that's why you would make a higher level of commitment, because you thought they were the one. That's how it felt like to you in the past. So in the current situation for you, Aries, we got the Magician upside down, we got Charon transition, and we got it is safe for you to love, open your heart, and give and receive the highest energy of all, which is kind of like a woman with a really big dress on a horse, and she's kind of being escorted by some cupid little angel guys and a man, like a knight, I guess. So, I mean, it kind of looks like someone's trying to manipulate the situation in the present situation. You know, they're using all their different tools, their cups, their wands, their pentacles. They're trying to manifest something or force something that might not be, you know, within a relationship things should happen, be easy, but, you know, someone's just trying to force something one way or the other. And it just seems to be, it is what it is. It does look like there is some sort of major change in the relationship. Charon tends to have some sort of pain. You know, it tends to hop up when there's like some sort of pain point in your life, but those pain points often help you change to a new direction, pivot to a better way of doing things, because from the pain you learn. Like when you touch a stove and it burns your hand, well, you know not to touch that stove anymore when you're a kid. So there could be some sort of something that you're overcoming. But despite this, I mean, it looks like at least one of you feels like it's a safe situation, at least. I mean, you got manipulation, you got change, possibly pain, and I guess despite whatever kind of challenges are going on, you guys still feel like it's safe and worth your time to move forward. Typically castles mean like good foundations, safety foundations, so I mean, you got that going on. Your future situation. The star did come up in the first spread too. So we got the star upside down, we got Hygeia, good health, and we got children. Your love life is being affected by children. So the future, it looks like, again, within this relationship, there could be some sort of blocked healing, stalled healing, something that's not quite healed out. You know, maybe you guys keep picking at a wound, you know, and it's not quite right, but it does look like it's going in a better direction, because Hygeia tends to be a pretty good card of things working out, things getting better, healthy boundaries, healthy communications. So in the future there could be some sort of situation where either you're within the relationship, you have kids are now something that you have, maybe they're adopted, they're gained, maybe inherited, you could just, you know, make a baby, or someone could be acting childish. If they are acting childish, it could be in a good way, because we got Hygeia here, so maybe you're just more playful and carefree in the future, which would be a great weight off your chest, or weight off your back, because I mean, with this kind of confusion over here in the present and the past, being able just to play and have fun is probably all you really wanted in the relationship. Alrighty, 1 second. So let me pull some cards from this oracle deck to get a bird's eye view of the situation, to see if we get anything else. Okay. Alrighty. So, if there was unfairness, it does look like there is an apology coming in for you, or if you're the one, you know, inflicting the unfairness, you know, you're being urged to take the chance to apologize. It looks like this person still wants to be your friend. Someone could have obsessive thoughts, and that possibly could be that moon reverse, that you're working on, your shadow side. If there were any boundaries that are crossed, make sure you do establish them. Again, repeating the message we got earlier, but that's good to get the, duplicate message. Let people know what they should and shouldn't do if they're going to be dating you. If you want it to be exclusive or not. What you expect, because, I mean, once they have that boundary, then they either choose to accept the terms and conditions or not. There could be some sort of work affecting your relationship, or being on a computer or a phone too much that's affecting their relationship. If there's gossip and that's where you get it from, is from your social media page, it might be better not to look for information on social media and just ask the person directly. If one of you guys is overworking, then you gotta work less. Tell your boss you can't be spending all your time working. You got a life to live too. With the true love card upside down, perhaps someone doesn't have the full heart in the situation. Maybe they might want it to work, but they might be doing it out of obligation, or they just don't want to hurt the other person, but their whole heart might not be in the situation. And that seems to be something that's coming up in this spread. So next I'm going to pull some cards from a person if you're out of contact with a person. So go ahead and pick that person now. Okay, let me pass this line. Oops. Okay. So Aries, let's see what we got for you. So when the cards are upside down, I'll sometimes take that as the opposite of that meaning, or to the extreme, like it needed to be highlighted. So let's see what we got here. I can still see you standing there. Okay, but it's upside down, so maybe they don't think about you so much anymore. The memory is kind of fading from them. Reversed, you are not part of my plan. Reversed, so perhaps you are part of the plan. They're hoping for you back. Reversed, I am grateful for the spiritual lesson. So if there was some sort of unfairness that happened, it seems like they are happy that they got the chance to learn from their mistakes and to do better. Well, no, sorry. This is in reverse, so they actually might be kind of pissed about it. I'm sorry about that. But you could take it as you want it. If you think it's the grateful to the extreme, or you could take it as the opposite of, maybe it was a lesson that they felt like was too bitter to learn. They're saying, I'm not available. So, perhaps right now is not a good time, but maybe sometime in the future they might want to come around. Reversed, we got I love you unconditionally. So, their love might be conditional. We did have that other card that kind of had true love upside down, so it wasn't the full heart. So, if someone's not giving you their full heart, you kind of want to ask, is it worth it? Do you want to fight for that last piece of their heart, or do you want to find someone that's going to give it, in an easier capacity? Then we got, I am happy that it's over, upside down. So they might not be happy. They might be kind of bitter, remorseful, sad, regretful that, you know, it's over, because we got that upside down. I watch you with your family. So, I mean, this is actually from one of the ghost decks, but normally I could reinterpret them for a romantic contact, so sometimes it might sound kind of creepy, but okay. I mean, they might be watching you on social media. They might be just watching you from afar, not wanting to interfere or bother you. They're just kind of happy that you're doing what you do. How can I help you? Reversed. So, I mean, they might not really want to be talking to you right now. It sounds like kind of a sarcastic kind of attitude. Reverse, because opposite probably. Reverse, we have, I have too much to lose. So maybe they felt like they've lost it all and there's nothing left to salvage. They gave it their best shot. Next we have reversed, I can be myself with you. So when they were with you, perhaps they felt like they couldn't be themselves. Something wasn't right. They had to hold back. They were just always tiptoeing, and their toes are tired. They needed to try something else to put their feet back on the ground. Upright, I wish we could go back. So maybe there was a time that was better, that they do kind of like to think about sometimes. Please take care of yourself, upside down. So I mean, they could generally mean that to the extreme, or they could be kind of bitter about the situation still. And then we got, I know you have trouble trusting, upside down. So, I mean, there could be trust issues with them, or with or it could be with you. And it could be like an unknown issue because it's upside down. Alright. 1 second. Alright, Aries, let me pull just a few more cards for you. This deck is kind of big, so it's hard to shuffle. Any more messages you might have from that special person on your mind? I made these cards myself because I felt like the oracle decks that I had were kind of limited, or not very diverse, not very specific. Let's see what we got here. Alrighty. So again, when these cards are upside down, I'll either take it as like the opposite of, or to the extreme. Something's special about that message. So we got, I am guarded. Upside down, we got, our status is not a match. So they might think you are a match. Maybe you're on the same energy level. I moved on, upside down, so they haven't moved on. I don't know you. So perhaps there was a secret again revealed. It was so fundamental that they feel like they don't know you anymore. Or it could be that you guys have split apart, so they feel like you're out of touch and they don't know who you are today. Upside down, I am not afraid of competition. So it seems like they are afraid of competition, and we did see competition in one of your spreads coming up. So that could be tapping into one of their fears or lessons that they wanted to learn with you. Upside down, we got, I want a divorce. So I would take that as they want reconciliation. They want to stick together. They want to, work it out. Because it's opposite of. Upside down, we got, I am easy to please. So they probably are hard to please. I'm sorry for you, Aries, but I guess they even know it themselves. We got, I don't love myself. Perhaps they don't feel good about themselves. We got upside down, I am loyal to you, so they might not be loyal to you. they might be considering other options. If you're split apart, they might be trying to date other people. Upside down, we can overcome anything. So they might think that some problems are too big to overcome, which is interesting because they don't want to split apart, but they don't know if they can overcome the problems. And it could be problems within themselves because, you know, their fear of competition and not loving themselves, not being loyal. It's kind of like a problem that they're setting onto the relationship, not necessarily something that you brought to the relationship. Upside down, we got you can't have my heart. So maybe they do want to give their heart to you. We got don't leave me. You are a great friend. I'm getting so many calls for it being midnight, or texts. This is crazy. I want an open marriage. So that could be something that's the conflict or the secret. You know, maybe they can't choose. They can't just choose one person. They want you, but they want someone else, and that could be part of the conflict. And if that's not something you're into, they have to either accept you only, or, you know, move on and find other people that want, you know, polyamorous, you know, ethical, non-monogamous kind of relationships. I need more spice. I'm gonna put that there. It was just temporary. And the final card, upside down, I gave you everything. So I think they held back. They didn't give you the full heart. Again, since you had that true love upside down, something, you know, they kept a part back just for themselves, and they weren't ready to be fully vulnerable to you. Which is weird because they're kind of, you got a clingy vibe, don't leave me here. Kind of have a vibe of they're not loyal to you. And they still want to be together. They want to work it out, but they don't know how it's possible. So that's an interesting combination. So I hope these messages were helpful to you. We'll move on next to your angel oracle cards. Let's grab these. Alrighty, Aries. Let's see. Oh, not way. So, for your advice, I mean, you could take these in their generic value, or school or career value, or you could kind of put these through the lens of romantic relationships if you want. It's up to you. We got moon cycles. Archangel Haniel. Notice how the moon affects your energy and manifestations, and capitalize upon these cycles. So generally when it's a new moon, you're setting new goals for the month. What do you want to happen? And when it's a full moon, you're releasing what do you want to let go of. And you could plan to let go of them that night, or let go of them by the end of the full moon waning down. You could also take that to an extra level and try to notice if you are being a lunatic, maybe high energy, high emotional, maybe a little unstable or impulsive on the full moons, or you could be getting positive things from the full moons too. Maybe that's when you have your creative sprints and you're able to wake up and do a painting in the middle of the night. Just try to track how the moon affects you, because it probably is, if this card's coming out. We got Ruby. Bless your heart. Reach out for emotional and spiritual support to heal and mend your heart. So if you are feeling heartbroken, reach out to your friends that you trust. You could reach out to a therapist. With if you're in America, the Affordable Care Act, therapy, like counseling, is one of the required things. When I was in a bad relationship, it would cost only $5 per session because of the ACA. And with COVID, most counselors are available through a webcam or phone meeting too. Depending on your state, they have different rules. Rubies are a little pricey, but if you are able to get a hold of one, you might want to wear that ring as the reminder to bless your heart, take care of your heart. If you can't afford the ruby itself, you can have a picture of it on your phone, or try to find a substitute, something else that's red. I do have 2 pieces of ruby, but I have not set them in any sort of jewelry. So, let's see. So this is advice to you. You deserve love. You are lovable. So if you were feeling, since that person left you, that person might have ghosted you, you had to block them, whatever the reason, it's over. You might have been questioning if you're worthy of love. You might have been questioning, do I deserve love? And the answer is yes, you do. We got school. The answer that you're seeking involves going to school. So you could take that on face value of maybe you need to go back to school, finish your degree. Maybe you need to get that extra training certificate. It could also be maybe you need to learn more about love, different ways of love, learn about relationships. It could also be reading a book. I like the book All About Love by Bell Hooks. It's a really good book. It helps. In that book, she talks about setting, or she defines love on some core pillars, and I think they're very good pillars to live by, because we don't have we're never taught love. We're just kind of assumed that we learn it from a movie or we learn it from friends, and that's not like a healthy version of love. Bell Hooks defines healthy love in that book if you're wanting to read it. And it's not a very long book, so it's pretty easy to read, especially if you're wanting to learn about how to have a better relationship and how to love yourself, how to love others, which is one and the same. Alright, and then we got Bellerophon, humility. I don't recognize this one too much. So I will go ahead and read this as your final piece of advice. Bellerophon, humility. Considered one of the greatest Greek heroes, Bellerophon is the son of Poseidon and the queen of the Corinth. King Lobates, who was a son-in-law, was a rival of Bellerophon and sent him on a variety of missions hoping to kill him. Bellerophon saved the land when he slew the fire-breathing Chimera, a monster with a lion's head, a goat's body, and a snake's tail. He also subdued the violent Somi tribe and the Amazons. When the king finally ordered his guards to slay Bellerophon, he killed every guard. At that point, Lobates recognized Bellerophon as the son of the gods and welcomed him into the household. Bellerophon felt he deserved to fly to Mount Olympus. Bellerophon felt that he deserved to fly to Mount Olympus, heavenly residence of gods, and rode the winged horse Pegasus towards the heavens. Zeus was so offended and enraged by the hero's presumption that he sent a gadfly to sting Pegasus, which sent Bellerophon crashing to earth. Bellerophon landed on a thorn bush and lived out his life crippled, miserable, and shunned by men and gods. So now we got the message. No matter how smart and talented, there is not one person alive who knows everything. We all go through life doing our best and using what we have learned on our own experiences and guidance from others. We all come from the same divine source of energy, but we have our own unique traits, thoughts, feelings, and experiences. No one is better or worse than anyone else on this planet. And there is something that we can learn from every person or event we encounter. Humility leads to immense wisdom and true power. When you see divine in every person, every experience in your life will be blessed, and your relationship can flourish. This is a time for recognizing that divinity. What have you learned from your experiences? Sometimes a lesson is simply to know that you should listen to your own instincts or judgments. Sometimes it is about opening to a new perspective. What traits have you had developed as a result of challenges? What can you see from people in your life? See the blessings around you. See the divine in all people and learn from your experiences. Don't allow yourself to be defeated by anything. Allow yourself to grow. Be humble and know that you are divine and beautiful, of being of light, and the world is divine and filled with light. Alrighty, so that is your horoscope for the next 3 to 4 months and your 12-month outcome. Feel free to stay on the same course that you're on. Change it if you wish now that you've looked at the future. And thank you for joining me.